son. Then it says in the text that the father says to his servants, quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. Not only are we going to embrace my son, we're going to party about it. The Pharisees are like, oh, Jesus, forget this. This is the dumbest story I've ever heard. Right? And the sinners, they're probably like, wow, we like parties. Right? And the disciples, they're still confused. They're like, well, what do we do here? Do we party or do we beat them up? And we're confused. Okay, they're still trying to figure it out. But the Pharisees are becoming embittered now. Why? Why are they becoming embittered? What's causing the Pharisees to push this story away? Why are they struggling with this? Why would you celebrate? Why would you celebrate this? The text goes on and says, for this son of mine was dead, but he's alive again. He was lost, he is found. So they began to celebrate. Now, the story takes another twist. Right? So they're still trying to comprehend all that, right? And Jesus says, well, let me try to introduce another concept to you. Maybe you'll resonate with this. And he says, while they were getting ready to party, he says, meanwhile, the older son was in the field. Now, the older son's out in the field doing what he was supposed to be doing, right? So he's out there taking care of the sheep, being a shepherd, whatever they do out there, fighting off the wolves. And he's coming in for his day, right? Done with the day, getting ready to come into the house. Wants to relax, right? Drink a nice Dr. Pepper, watch the Seahawks, or whatever he's going to do. Okay? And he comes near the house and he begins to hear the noise. He's like, well, that's interesting. Dad's getting ready to party because I'm coming home, right? Woohoo! Everybody's happy I'm here. And he called out to one of the servants and said, hey, what's going on? Is Dad that excited to see me after my hard day at work? I mean, about slaving away, taking care of his sheep, making his estate even more valuable and doing all these good things. Are they getting ready to celebrate me? No. No, says the servant. You're very confused, older brother. It's all about that brother of yours. Your father, right? He's killed the fattened calf. Now, the fattened calf, that's like the prime rib roast, right? He'd been saving that thing for a long time. That's a special occasion, right? That's that bottle of champagne that nobody touches because it's like $5,000. He's going to open that thing, right? But we don't drink, so apple juice, okay? Carbonated apple juice, $5,000, all right? Whatever it is, whatever that significant is, they're getting ready to party at no expense because this is a powerful moment. The older brother, right? The other brother is so excited, he wants to celebrate with his brother, right? He's so happy. That's not what the story says, is it? Jesus says he became angry, and he's looking at the Pharisees at this point. He became angry like you, Pharisees. They're probably like, what? Not me. I'm not angry. This story's crazy. But they were angry. As they're listening to this story, because they've seen it time and time again, they're getting anger in them. And he looks at them and he says, he was angry and he refused to go in. But the father comes out and pleads with him. And he answers his father, says, look, all these years, I have been slaving for you and never disobeyed yours. Here's the problem we have with proximity of relationship. We have this issue called self-righteous anger. Right? He becomes angry. Have you ever known a Christian brother or sister that always seemed to be angry? You ever seen these people? I mean, they're terrible in business meetings. You can't get anything done with these people in business meetings. They're just mad at everything. Right? You can't do anything with these people. They're so angry. Why are they so angry? I mean, I just know people, whether they're Christian or not Christian. They're just angry people. You go in the grocery store, right, and you just see them across the way, and you're like, ooh, you'll do whatever you can to avoid them. Like you'll stack potatoes, you'll hide behind a stack of potatoes because you don't want to see that angry person because they're just come and spew their anger on you. Right? They're just angry all the time. Weren't the Pharisees in the Bible, didn't it always seem like they were angry? No matter what Jesus did, it just made them mad. Ticked them off. Why is that? Here's the secret, I think. The next text, he says this. The older brother is still speaking. He says, you never gave me, Dad. You never gave me one time, Dad, a single goat so that I could party with my friends. I've been slaving away, it says. Slaving away, he says. And I've never even gotten a little goat to party with. But this son of yours, notice proximity relationship. It's not my brother. It's this son of yours, Dad, comes strolling back in here. Now, where's the anger being placed at? Is he really mad at his brother, or is he mad at his dad? Or both? He's just angry at the world. He squandered everything. Your property. He did it on, and he uses that word right there I want to say in front of the kids, right? Bad things. He did bad things with that money, Dad. He went to Vegas and he should have stayed in Vegas. But now he's home and you killed the fattened calf for him. And I don't even get a goat. You ever felt that way? Like, God, why are you blessing them? God, why did you do that for them? What about me, God? What about me? I've done everything right. I've done everything you told me to do. What about me? The dad says, my son, you've always been with me. Do you not think I saw that? I saw the whole time that you were with me. This is not about you not being with me. This has everything to do about your brother leaving us. It's not about you. But Dad, why isn't it about me? Everything I have, he says to his son, everything I have is yours. You see, what he was saying to his son is, I already gave your brother what he deserved. He took it, he ran, he squandered it. I'm not going to divide it again, son. It's all yours. You're going to get every dime of this. He'll work for you the rest of his life. And this whole time, you had the blessing of being with me here. Why isn't that enough? What are you afraid that you're going to miss, son? And then he says something that's real interesting to me. In the next slide, he says this. We had to celebrate. It's like it's a condition that when you lose something and you find it, you got to celebrate it. Even if it's something you don't understand. Like your brother who strays away and comes home. Completely broken. We have to celebrate because this brother of yours was dead, but he's alive again. He was lost. He's found. You see, it worked great for the sheep. When Jesus used the sheep story, man, they were all in. Woo, I like it. Okay, because that represents money. Money for me. But as soon as you change the proximity of the relationship to make it a little bit closer to us, now I'm awkward with it. Now I'm uncomfortable with this. Why is that? Well, because we have the prodigal problem. What does the prodigal problem say? Is this story about finding something, or is this story about forgiveness? Is this story about restoration, or just about forgiving? Here's what I think is the myth with forgiving. And this is why I think a lot of us don't want to do it. Because we say this, in order for me to forgive, I've got to forget everything. That's not true. Right? God doesn't hold us, right? Once we are forgiven, it's gone away. But for you and I, once it's in our brain, we can't forget. The older son's never going to forget what his younger brother did. That's not what he's asking him to do. He's also saying to him, hey, a lot of times we think, well, if I forgive the younger brother, there's no consequences. Are you kidding me? Do you see what this younger brother dealt with? He became a pig. And when he comes home, all he's going to get is the fattened calf because he's got nothing left. He's squandered it all. He's going to have to live as your slave, son. There's still consequences. And ultimately, he'll stand before God. What about this one? We think we can't forgive because, right, I have to be free of pain and grief. No, there's all kinds of pain and grief. There's all kinds of pain and grief the younger son caused its family. Right? But you still forgive. Reconciliation may not happen right now. Right? Unless you're God. God can reconcile right away. But we can't reconcile right away. It doesn't mean just because you forgive somebody that the relationship's instantly reconciled. It's going to take some time. Okay? And lastly, trust. I wouldn't trust the younger brother just because he's forgiven. God doesn't, or the father didn't put him back in charge of everything. The older son's still in charge. You see, the reason we don't forgive is because we're worried about how's it going to affect me. And it's not about you. Right? Forgiveness is about God. It's about maintaining the proximity of a relationship. You can't be close to somebody you can't forgive. God can't be close to us if there's unforgiveness. Are you following what I'm saying here? The moral of this story, right, is the power of forgiveness. Because here's the real problem, right? The real prodigal problem is this, that the good son felt that he was treated unjustly. He slaved away. He did everything by the book. He followed the rules. The younger brother did everything for his own selfish gain, but he got the fattened calf. So why does he feel unjustly treated? Why? Well, this is why. Because he has this problem with comparative reality. This is what we do in our sinful nature. Comparative reality means that we're always comparing our situation in our life and everything that's going on with everybody else. And that's not okay. Maintaining a perspective or a position where you ride in this comparative reality will destroy your life. You'll never have enough. You'll always want more. The Joneses got a boat. We need a boat. Right? Mary got a new job. I need a new job. And off it goes and off it goes. Comparative reality. We're always comparing ourselves to other people. When the problem is we reside in the proximity of a relationship is with God, the Father. Right? When you are secure there, this is what happens. Okay? To break this comparative reality, you need to understand this, that God loves you unconditionally. God's love, the Father's love for those two sons never wavered based upon their decisions. His love was consistently offered to both of them. So nothing you can do can cause God to love you more. Did you realize that? You could be the perfect son, and God's not going to love you anymore. And at the same time, God's love is unconditional in the sense that nothing you can do can cause God to love you less. God's love never wavered on that prodigal son. Here's what I want us to understand. Okay? Proximity of relationship is about love and forgiveness, about balancing truth, the power of God's truth. Because when sinners realize that God can free them from their sin, they can freely eat from the tree of grace. Right? But we have to be that bridge. We're the bridge of proximity for God. And we, as a church, have to let our anger go. Embrace forgiveness, right? And eat the fattened calf for those who were lost, but now are found. It's a beautiful story. I think at the very end, the sinners got it. Wow. You're telling me that after all I've done, if I just run to the Father, He'll embrace me? And the disciples are like, wow. You mean you're telling us that forgiveness is the key? And the Pharisees are like, nah, we're checking out. This isn't fair. This isn't just. This is not what we want. We want people to suffer for what they've done.